What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Philip, and I'm back with another video for y'all today. And before we get started with today's video, make sure y'all click the like button down below, give it thumbs up. Make sure y'all click that subscribe button, click the bell so y'all can be notified and don't miss any of my videos. Today's video is going to be a episode review for the Boondocks Season 2, Episode 2 review. So without further ado, let's begin. The name of this episode is simply titled Tom, Sarah, and Usher. One of the most popular episodes of the Boondocks. The episode starts off where Tom and Sarah are celebrating the anniversary of them pretty much being married. Tom doesn't want to sip on some more wine because he's the one that's going to have to drive them home, and then explains that if he ends up drinking another glass of wine and then he gets pulled over and then spend time in prison getting his manhood took. She was like, yes, let's talk about your violated. And then Usher walks in, and then Tom tries to sing to Sarah, which pretty much embarrasses her, and the whole restaurant is like, sir, please stop. She's not surprised by this. And then Usher starts to sing the same song that he was singing, but better. Damn. Then they take pictures for a while. Tom ends up having to deal with having dessert solo dolo. And then the waiter comes back with a check. He's like, hey man, sorry. Won't let this shit happen to me though. And then on the ride home, Tom's insecurities start to come out. He was like, this is so inappropriate. Like, you can't be doing like this. She's like, you forgetting that Jasmine is a fan of Usher too. She's like, yeah, that's different because Jasmine's 10 and you're too old to be acting like some TRL groupie. She's like, stop the car. And then Tom was like, now, we won't have any of that. And then she's like, stop the car. He stops immediately and she gets out. And then the next day, they're at the Freeman's house. He at the Freeman's house. Tom talks about his issues. And then Riley like, Usher. He was like, that nigga my age. And then Granddad was like, your wife is cheating on you with a singing Usher. And then he was like, not an Usher, it's Usher. He's a singer. He was like, Granddad was like, Usher don't sing. How am I supposed to hear the movie? And then Uncle Ruckus was there doing work at the Freeman house. And was like, what's going on? And then Granddad was like, Tom's wife is cheating on him with a singing Usher. And then Riley tried to give out advice. Wrong person to give out advice to, especially from an 8-year-old that don't know nothing about love. And he was like, I say toss her groupie ass outside and let that old stargaze from outside. He said, now, Riley, violence is never the place in a relationship. He's like, it seemed that they was at a restaurant. She made Mr. Dubois look like a bitch in front of Usher. And then Uncle Ruckus talking about some violence that started off so terrible. She would probably take you in and teach you how to read. And then Riley was like, but Granddad, she did make Mr. Dubois look like a bitch. Yeah, we all know she made Tom look like a bitch, but find another way to say it. And then Riley was like, I can see if it was a real nigga. If you lost your hoe to T.I., I'd be like, hey, that's T.I., but Usher. And Riley was like, you better check that hoe, Mr. Dubois. Tom's dumbass listened to Riley's advice, and that did not end too well. It actually was going to backfire any damn way. He ends up showing back up to the Freeman house with all his bags packed up after trying to put his wife in check. And that backfired. And then he's like, is your granddad home? And then Riley's like, Granddad, Mr. Dubois is at the door. And then looked at Tom and was like, you's a bitch. He's like, then Granddad was like, I'm sorry to hear about the split. We would love to let you stay here, but we don't have no room for you. He's like, maybe the guest room? And Granddad looked at the boys and like, who told him about the guest room? He's like, you see, boys, this is why I say relationship is a bad thing. And then Riley was like, I don't care what nobody say. I ain't never getting married. He was like, statistically speaking, he was bound to fail anyway. And then Tom does this little fake-ass music video of him singing Let It Burn by Usher. There are times he kept butchering the song, fucking up the words. Like, it was so bad that both Riley and Granddad had to tell Tom to shut the fuck up. I'll never forget the scene where Riley was like, so that's the advice you want to send to the youth. That's really hood, huh? Off some white girl that left you for an R&B dancing ass, sexy flexy ass nigga. And then, run out of options, they finally come up with a way to get Tom out of their house. This is when a pimp named Slickback comes into full swing. Bada bam! The return of our favorite pimp, a pimp named Slickback. He was like, I've been told that you were suffering from chronic bitch dependency. And then Granddad ends up telling him that it would be nice for Tom to go ahead and go to a therapist, but they already paid a pimp named Slickback a retainer of $2,800 with Tom's credit card. And then he's like, so you gonna help me get Sarah back? No, you better make that bitch behave. She won't want excitement. You better take her ass to an amusement park. And then we meet one of the girls for a pimp named Slickback, Sweetest Taboo. She ended up whooping his ass like it was nothing. She could be the next Layla Ali. And then we meet Quiet Storm, who's been monitoring all of Sarah's messages and shit. And she tried to talk about we need a new computer. She's like, don't start that we need a new computer shit again. You say that shit every time a new iMac come out. You better make that keyboard work, bitch, and stop playing with me. And then somehow, somewhere down the line, Tom decided to get some bass in his voice and was like, come on. He was like, oh, so now the nigga could get some bass in his voice. He was like, come on, bitch. They showed up to the hotel. And then Tom asserts his dominance. He's like, bitch, get your ass to the car. You heard me, bitch. She's like, oh, okay, Dolomite, what do you think you doing? And right before he could try to hit Sarah, he ended up hitting Usher instead. And then the security guards and Usher looked mighty confused and surprised at the same time. Like, did he just hit him? And then in retaliation, Usher ends up beating the shit out of Tom, including his bodyguards. And was like, shut the fuck up, Tom. And that somewhere ends the episode. Drop your favorite lines from this episode of the Boondocks. But I'd like to say thank y'all for tuning in to today's video. Make sure y'all click that subscribe button. Make sure y'all click that bell so y'all can be notified. Give it a thumbs up and give it a like. Don't forget to add me on social media. YoungPhilip_00. Instagram, Snapchat, Ryan361005, and TikTok at YoungPhilip00. With that being said, I am out.